Good. So consider the quadratic equation 4x squared take away 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So first things first, a quadratic must be equal to 0 in order to solve it, right? So what we do when we have a quadratic like this, where the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1, you look at you identify A, B, and C, right? So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to identify A. So A is, anybody knows what A is in this quadratic? Y'all remember what A is? Nobody? The quadratic is in the general format, ax squared, yes, plus bx plus c, right? This is the standard form of a quadratic equation, where a is the coefficient of x squared. In this case, it's 4, right? B is the coefficient of x. Now you have to take the sign of B as well. So because there's a minus sign in front of it, B will not just be 5, it'll be minus 5, right? And then C is the constant, which is 6, but there's a minus sign in front of that. So the C is negative 6, all right? And now you ask yourself, what is AC? Well, AC is 4 times negative 6, since A is 4 and C is negative 6, and 4 times negative 6 is negative 24, right? Because a positive by a negative is a negative. Now you ask yourself, what two factors of AC, so what two factors of negative 24 will multiply to give me negative 24, and at the same time add or subtract to give me B, right? To give me negative 5. So like last week, we were looking at just grouping them in pairs right away, right? So that kind of narrows down the answers. So 1 times 24, right? Or 1 and 24, sorry. So 1 and 24. What else we have? 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. Those are the factors of 24. So which pair, right, of these can I get 5 from? Anybody? Which of these pairs, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, or 4 and 6, which of those I could get 5 from?
3 and 8.
Yes, 3 and 8. And I need negative 5, right? It has to be 3 plus 8 or 3 minus 8 or 8 plus 3 or 8 minus 3 to give me negative 5. Which combination would it be, Kaylin, to get negative 5?
Negative 3 plus 8.
Well, actually, it'll be 3 take away 8, because negative 3 plus 8 will be positive 5.
OMG.
Yeah. So, I mean, once it's a negative number, the positive, the bigger number has to be what you're minusing, right?
Yeah.
Because 3 take away 8 is negative 5. So the two factors that we'll be looking at is 3 and minus 8. So now what we do is we rewrite the equation, replacing negative 5x with 3x take away 8x, because 3x take away 8x is negative 5x. I'm going to rewrite the equation. So this would remain as 4x squared plus 3x minus 8x minus 6 is equal to 0. Because, guys, 3 take away 8x is minus 5x. I want you to be very careful with those signs, okay? Doing positive 8 and minus 3 is not correct, because 8 take away 3 is positive 5. You need to get negative 5. So that's something to note, right? Now we factorize by grouping, meaning that we factorize these first two terms and the second two terms. So between 4x squared and 3x, the common factor is x, right? So x can go into 4x squared, 4x times 4x times x is 4x squared, and x could go into 3x 3 times. All right, you bring down this minus sign, and then between 8x and 6, 2 is a common factor. So we take 2 on the outside, 2 times 4x gives me 8x. And then 2 into 6 is 3. This is minus 2 into minus 6, so that'll be plus 3. And as you know, when you factorize by grouping, once you see that you have the same repeated factor in the brackets, 4x plus 3, same signs, same terms, you're on the right track. Cool? So I bring that now. That is the common factor, 4x plus 3 by x minus 2. So you put the remaining terms in the second pair of brackets. But really and truly, it still is, you're still factorizing, right? Because 4x plus 3 into this whole thing here would just leave you with x. And 4x plus 3 into this whole thing here would leave you with minus 2. So you could think about it that way, which is the correct way, or you could just put the remaining terms in brackets. However it works for you, do it that way. All right, so now once you reach this point, now this literally means 4x plus 3 times x minus 2 is equal to 0. In order to get 0, when multiplying any two numbers, it means that one of those numbers have to be equal to 0. So that's why we equate each of the brackets to 0. It's either going to be 4x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. And now you solve for x. So if 4x plus 3 is equal to 0, then 4x is equal to 0, take away 3, which is negative 3, and therefore x is equal to negative 3 divided by 4. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So that full answer will be negative 3 over 4. And then the second answer, x is equal to, well, if x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 plus 2, which is 2. So you have two solutions here. X is equal to negative 3/4 or x is equal to 2. Now, when you have the coefficients of x squared being greater than 1, this method is a very good method to use. But when the coefficient of x squared is just 1, you don't need to go through all of these steps with a, b, c, and ac and all of that. You could, if you want, you'll still get the correct answer. But really and truly, if it's just x squared, then you know that in your brackets it's going to have x and x, right? So let's look at this one, number 1 here, right? The coefficient of x squared is 1. Let's still do it the long way, right? So what is a in this case, guys? What is the coefficient of x squared here? We have someone. Nia, what's the coefficient of x squared in question 1 here?
Coefficient 1.
Of x squared. So what is a?
A is 1.
Yes, a is 1. What is b?
B is 7.
Negative 7,
What? Negative 7. And C is
right?
negative.
C is negative 8. So AC will be
AC, hold on. Calculator now.
you don't need a calculator to do 1
Miss,
times
I have
negative 8.
to. Miss, my brain, negative 7 multiplied by
No,
negative.
Nia, it's A times C. So A
Oh,
times C is literally 1 times
Oh.
8.
Oh, I thought it was my bad. I wasn't watching properly. My bad. That is why I thought I had to use a calculator. If it was 1, miss, I have a brain, okay? That was a slow movement.
Yeah, so what is AC?
AC is negative 8.
Negative 8, right? So the factors of AC would be, well, you have 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. Which combination will we use here, guys? To get, because remember, we already know these combinations will multiply to give me 8, but which of those will add or subtract to give me negative 7?
1 and 8.
1 and 8. That's right. What would these signs be, Kaylin?
Just 1 minus 8.
1 minus 8, right? So these signs will be positive 1 and minus 8 because 1 take away 8 is negative 7 and 1 multiplied by negative 8 will give me negative 8. Cool. So now I already know, so I'm not going to do this whole factorizing by grouping for this one, but I'm just going to go straight to the brackets, right? Because I know it's going to be x it has to be plus 1 by x minus 8. All of that is equal to 0. And then you solve. So x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x take away 8 is equal to 0. And if x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 minus 1, which is negative 1. And if x minus 8 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 0 plus 8, which is 8. And those are your two solutions for the quadratic. All right. Zafi,
Hi.
help me with number 2. What is A in number 2?
X.
No, A is 1,
One. Sorry.
right? What is B?
He is 2,
And C is
15.
negative 15,
Oh,
right?
sorry.
So then AC would be
Um, B negative 14.
negative 15. AC means A times C, right? So
Sorry.
it's 1
Yeah.
multiplied by negative 15, which will give you
Okay.
negative
Yeah.
15. Good. So let's list our groups of factors. So it will be 1 and 15,
Mhm.
or 3 and 5.
5.
Yeah. So which of those two could give you positive 2,
3 and 5.
right? And what would be the signs?
Um, it would be minus.
Which one will be minus?
D3.
That's right, because 5 take away 3 is 2. Perfect. So now when we're factorizing, this will end up being x plus 5 by x minus 3. And both of those, the product of those two brackets is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So if x plus 5 is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, take away 5, which is negative 5, or
Mhm.
x is equal to, what's the second one? X will be what?
Negative 3.
Positive 3.
Plus,
Because, yeah, because
oh,
minus 3, it'll be
right.
0 plus 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Um, Genesis, help me with number 3. What is A, B, and C in number 3?
A is 6,
Yeah.
B is minus 5,
Mm-hmm.
and C is 1,
Perfect. And what is AC?
6.
Correct. So let's look at the factors of 6. We have 1 and 6 because 1 times 6 is 6. And we also have 2 by 3.
2 by 3 will give me D minus 5.
Yeah, but the problem with 2 by 3 is um, we need them to multiply to give us positive 6, right? So the signs of the 2 and 3, what do you think they'll be to get negative 5?
Sorry.
2 and
2,
3 is correct, huh? 2 and 3 is correct.
to get the negative 6.
Well, it's positive 6. So how do you get positive 6? They have to multiply to give me positive 6. So it could be 2 times 3, right? To give me
Mhm.
positive 6. But they have to add or subtract to give me negative 5. So this is where we have to think about it, which signs they'll take. So
Negative 2
negative. Mm-hmm.
by 3.
Well, it would have to be negative 2 and negative 3 because negative 2, if it was just positive 3, that would mean negative 2 times positive 3 will give you negative 6, right? But you need positive 6. So negative 2 times negative 3 gives you positive 6. Since two negatives multiply to give you a positive, and then -2 take away 3 will give you -5. So the two numbers will be both have negative signs. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
So anytime, Jen, anytime you see B is negative, but AC is positive, the two factors will always be negative because that's the only way you could get a negative B and a positive AC. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to factorize by grouping. All right. So we're going to rewrite this equation, replacing minus 5x with -2 and -3. So that would end up being 6x, take away 2x, take away 3x, plus 1 is equal to 0. Since -2x take away 3x will give me back this -5x. So all I'm doing is rewriting the equation. And now I factorize by grouping, which means I'm factorizing these first two terms here and these second two terms. Jen, what is common between, sorry, this is 6x squared. What is common between 6x squared and 2x?
2,
2, but what about the x part?
2x,
2x, right? So 2x could go into, how many times can 2 go into 6?
3,
Good. And how many times can x go into x squared?
x times
X times is correct because x times x is x squared, right? And then how many times can 2x go into 2x?
once.
Once. Perfect. All right. We bring down this minus sign. And the only common factor between 3x and 1 is going to be 1 because 3 and 1 are prime numbers. So it's just 1 that could go into both of them. So -1 by 3x will give me -3x, and -1 by -1 gives me +1. All right, so now I see that I have my repeated factor, 3x minus 1. So I factor that out. So that would end up being 3x minus 1 by 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore, 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. And now you solve algebraically, right? So 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, which means that 3x is equal to 0 plus 1, and therefore x is equal to 1 divided by 3. And then 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. And then x is equal to 1 divided by 2. So in this one, x is 1/3 or x is 1/2. All right. Thank you, Genesis.
Yeah.
Athena, are you there, love?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do number 4 together. What is
Okay.
A in this equation?
E?
A. What is A? The coefficient of x squared. What is A?
Oh, 5.
5. What is B?
6.
-6. And then C is
1.
1. So then what is AC? A multiplied by C.
Um,
A is 5 and C is 1. So AC would be 5 times 1. What is that?
5.
All right. So, I mean, you're in luck because the only two factors of 5 are 1 and 5 because 5 is a prime number, right? So, what would be the symbols do? Because with this combination of 1 and 5, it has to multiply to give me +5, and at the same time, add or subtract to give me -6. So what do you think of the symbols? What would they be?
I'm not sure about the symbols part. I'm not.
Okay. Well, wait, Genesis, can you help out with this one? Because this is just like how this is just like number three, where we had a negative B but a positive AC.
Yeah,
So what would be the two symbols?
negative and negative.
They'll be negative and negative. Athena, they're going to be negative and negative, babe, because -1 take away 5 will give you -6. And then -1 multiplied by -5 will give me +5. Right, Athena? Are you there,
Um,
love? You still
yeah.
not sure? You still not sure about it? You want me to explain it again? I don't know. Athena, are you hearing me, honey? I'm not sure if it's my internet or yours.
Miss, I think it's mine.
Oh gosh. Um, but can you hear me? Let me know. Message me and let me know if you understand why they both have to be negative, right? It's going to be -5 take away 5 because these two factors have to give you -6 with addition or subtraction. The only way to get -6 is if both of them are negative. Right? And then -5 times -1 will give you 5. Okay, great. I got your message. We can move on. So we're going to rewrite the equation 5x squared minus 6x plus 1, replacing the minus 6x with -5 take away 1. So this would be 5x squared. We're not doing anything to that as yet. So take away 5x, sorry, take away x plus 1 is equal to 0. And now we go ahead and we factorize by grouping. So between 5x squared and 5x, the common factor is 5x. 5x times x gives me back 5x squared, and 5x times -1 gives me -5x. I bring down this minus sign. Between x and 1, the only common factor is 1. -1 times x gives me minus x, and -1 times -1 will give me +1. So that's the factorization. And here I have my repeated factor, x take away 1. So it'll be x take away 1 by 5x take away 1 is equal to 0. So therefore, x minus 1 is equal to 0, or 5x take away 1 is equal to 0. All right. So then if x minus 1 is equal to 0, x will be 0 plus 1. You move 1 to the other side, right? Which is +1. If 5x minus 1 is equal to 0, 5x is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. And therefore, x is equal to 1 divided by 5. All right. Nia, me and you again, honey. You there?
Yeah, miss.
All right, let's go, love. What is A, B, and C?
A would be 3, B would be -8, and C would be 5.
Beautiful. A is 3, B is -8, and C is 5 in the equation 3x squared minus 8x plus 5 is equal to 0. What would be AC, honey?
AC would be 15.
Good. And now let's list our factors of AC, right? So to get 15, we could use 1 times 15 or 3 times 5. Which of those two, Nia, will add or subtract to give me -8? Well, we already know they multiply to give me 15 because we write it in that order already. So which of those two can add or subtract to give me -8?
3 -3 and -5.
That's right, my girl. -3 and -5. Because -3 take away 5 is -8. And then -3 times -5 is +15. Beautiful. Okay, Nia. So let's go ahead and factorize this by grouping. So we rewrite the equation 3x squared minus 8x plus 5, replacing minus 8x with those two factors, minus 3x and minus 5x. So this will give me 3x take away 3x. Oh, sorry, 3x squared, sorry, take away 3x, take away 5x plus 5 is equal to 0.
And
Yeah?
then to factorize this, it
Yeah?
would be 3x
Yeah?
on the side, open bracket, and
Yeah?
then we're left with x
Mhm.
minus 1,
Yeah?
and then minus 5,
Yeah?
open bracket, x, with
Yeah? X, correct? X?
plus
No,
1.
minus.
Oh, shucks. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it had to be the same, my bad.
It has to be the same, but not only that, minus 5 by minus 1 will give you positive 5.
Totally,
Yeah?
yes.
Good.
And
And all of
after,
that is equal to 0. Okay, what's the next line?
and after, we have to factorize again. And the next thing you miss would be 3x minus 5 in brackets.
Yes, that's true. So we 3x take away 5 is equal to 0. Yeah?
And then we would have x minus 1 equals 0, or 3x minus 5 equals 0, and then
Right.
it would be x equals positive 1, and huh, and and 3x
3x equals,
equals positive 5.
yeah.
Goody, lovely. But I totally ate this up in class when Miss gave us our equation.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Excellent.
totally.
Good. You really ate and left no crumbs, girl.
Oh, gracious, I like how you use that statement. Clock it. I love it.
All right. Kaylin, you ready to do number 6 with me?
Yeah.
Okay, babe. Tell me, what is A, B, and C?
Okay, A is 2, B is 3,
Yeah,
and C is -9.
beautiful. What is AC?
-18.
That's right. And let's write our factors in pairs already. That would multiply to give me negative 8, well, 18. So that's 1 and 18. And what other pair?
9 and 2.
Yeah, 2 and 9. And then
Hmm. Give me a
3
second.
and, yeah, 3 and 6.
Yeah, I
All
was
right,
thinking that.
great. So we need to get, they have to multiply to give me negative 9, negative 18, sorry, and subtract to give me positive 3.
3 and 6.
It's got to be 3 and 6.
Yeah.
What about the signs?
-3 and -6.
Negative 3 and positive 6, because only a positive times a negative could give me a negative in terms of multiplication. So guys, once that number is negative, the two factors will always have two different signs, because that's the only way that you can multiply two numbers to get a negative, is if one of them is positive and the other is negative. So it is going to be 6 and negative 3, because 6 take away 3 is positive 3, which is what we need to get as B. And then 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Right? Beautiful. All right, Kaylin, what is next?
Okay, so straight to brackets.
You don't want to write the equation over first?
Well, yeah, okay.
I mean, if you want to go straight to the brackets, you could tell me what the brackets would be,
Now
if
we
you
can
know what
write
it
it
would
over.
be.
We can write it over.
Okay, cool. Because sometimes I can't figure it out myself. So that's why. All right. So, okay. So this will be
So
2x squared.
plus 3x.
Plus 6x
OMG. Yes, 6x.
minus 3x.
Minus 3x
Yeah.
minus 9.
Good. All right. And now let's factorize by grouping. What's the common factor here?
2
X.
x.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so x plus 3 and then negative 3x plus 3.
That's right. Because negative 3 by positive 3 will give you the negative 9. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the final factors?
Okay, so x plus 3 and 2x minus 3.
Beautiful. All right. So then,
So then that means that x is equal to negative 3
yeah.
and the other x is equal to OMG, guys. Wait, I have to write it down.
I'll do it with you. So 2x minus
Okay,
3 is 0. So then 2x would be 0 plus 3, which is 3.
yeah.
And so x is equal to 3 divided by 2.
2.
Great. Zafi,
Okay.
Zafi, let's do number 8. Sorry, number 7, honey.
Mm-hmm.
What's A?
Wondering. I have been listening and watching, and this is very confusing.
All right, let's do it together. What is A?
7,
Right. So what is B?
negative 10,
Right. What is C?
negative 8.
Beautiful. AC is A times C. So what is AC?
Um, it is
7 eights are?
56. Sorry,
And
56.
then because it's a positive by a negative, it's
It's
negative
not-
56, right?
Yeah.
Good. And now we're going to write our factors of 56 using putting them in pairs that would already multiply to give me 56, right? So 1 and 56 is the first pair. 1 times 56 is 56.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 times 8.
Yeah,
7 and
7
8.
times 8. Okay. So none of those would work as yet because 7, they can't get negative 10 from 7 and 8. So let's see what else we have. Um,
Um,
what is 56 divided by 2? 28. So that can't work either, right? So 2 times 28, that can't work. What else we have?
mm,
What is 56 divided by 4?
14.
14. Right. So 4 and 4. Can we get 10 from that? From 4 and 14?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. But we need negative 10. So would it be 14 take away 4 or 4 take
No,
away 14?
4 take away 14.
That's correct. Right? 4 take away 14 would give me 4 take away 14 gives me negative 10. And 4 times negative 14 gives me negative 56, right? Because the two factors, remember, they have to multiply to give me back whatever AC is, and at the same time, add or subtract to give me whatever B is. Is that clear so far? Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the equation. But the only thing we're changing is instead of writing minus 10x, I'm going to use the two factors that I chose. So 4 and negative 14, right? So I'll keep this as 7x squared. I'm not doing anything with that as yet. And I'm going to rewrite this minus 10x. I'm going to rewrite that using minus 14x plus 4x. because minus 14x plus 4x will give me minus 10x. And then I just keep minus 8 at the end. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Good. What is the common factor between 7x squared and 14x?
2,
Yes. Well, no, 7x.
7x.
I know what you were thinking. You're thinking 7 could go into 14 two times.
Oh,
But the common factor here is 7x, right? Because 7x could go into 7x squared and 7 could go into minus 14x, right? So the
yeah.
common factor is 7x, right? How many times can 7x go into 7x squared?
1. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
yeah.
x, because 7x times x will give you 7x squared. If it was 7x times 1, it'll just be 7x, right? But you have to
Yeah.
get x squared. So 7x times x will give you 7x squared. And 7x times what will give me minus 14x?
You could say that over.
What would I multiply 7x by to give me minus 14x?
2
Minus 2.
minus 2, yeah.
7x times minus 2 gives me minus 14x. All right. And then what is common between 4x and 8?
2, but also 4.
Always choose the highest factor, right? So choose 4 instead of 2. Because if you choose 2, then you would have to factorize again. Because using 2, you would still have you'll be able to factorize by 2 again. So we'll use 4, right? And factorize this to me. So that'll be 4 by what? In the brackets.
4 by x and my minus 2.
That's right. Good. Do you see how I have the repeated factor x minus 2 and x minus 2?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to pull out. And then in the remaining brackets, I'm going to put 7x plus 4. Right? So then, if x minus 2 times 7x plus 4 is 0, that means either one of those brackets is equal to 0. So either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or 7x plus 4 is equal to 0. So if x minus 2 is equal to 0, x would be equal to what?
Negative 2.
No, positive 2.
Positive 2. Okay.
Right? Because remember, if x is minus 2, then you're saying that minus 2 take away 2 is 0. But minus 2 take away 2 is negative 4. Right? So x take away 2 is, if x take away 2 is 0, then x has to be 2.
Okay.
Because the only number take away 2 to give you 0 will be 2. Or otherwise, you can just think of your regular algebra, which is when you move the minus 2 to the other side. What happens when you move a term from one side of the equation to the other side?
The sign goes to the opposite one.
That's right. So instead of minus, it'll be plus, right? And 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay, girls. Now 7x plus 4 is equal to 0. So what would happen to plus 4 on the other side, Zafi?
It'll be minus 4.
That's right. So then if 7x is equal to minus 4, then x is equal to minus 4 divided by 7, which will be a minus divided by a positive is a negative. So it'd be negative 4 over 7. Zafi, do number 8 with me as well.
Okay.
What is A, B, and C here?
Okay. A would be 4.
Yeah,
B would be minus 51.
yeah.
And C would be minus 31.
Oh gosh, why we have these big numbers?
That's what I wanted to know.
But yes, it is. Those are correct. All right. So, oh wait, actually, I wrote the wrong question. It's supposed to be minus 13, not minus 31.
Oh.
Oopsie. Yeah, that was my mistake.
Um,
So let me change that one time. Sometime. So that should have been minus 13. right? So C would therefore be minus 13.
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right, let's go. So, um, 4 times negative 13 will be what?
Negative 52.
Good. Oh, look at this. Well, 1 times 52 will give me 52, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how would I get negative 51 from 1 and 52?
Subtract
That's right.
the 1 from the 52.
That's right. So it'll be 1 take away 52. So at least it looked scary at first, but look, it's really just 1 and 52. Because 1 take away 52 will give me negative 51. So that satisfies this. And then 1 times negative 52 gives me negative 52. So that satisfies this. So we are going to rewrite the equation, replacing minus 51x with 1 take away 52. So this will be 4x squared
Mm-hmm.
take away x, take away 52x
Mm-hmm.
plus, sorry, minus 13. All right. What's common between 4x squared and x?
4. I mean X.
X,
Yeah,
correct.
X.
All right. So x times what gives you 4x squared?
4X.
That's right. And x times what gives you minus x?
Neg negative and negative X.
Negative 1. Negative x would
Negative 1. Right.
x
Yeah.
times negative x will give you negative x squared, but x times negative 1 will give you negative x, right? We're going to bring down this minus, and I'm going to just tell you 13 is the common factor between 52x and 13, right? 13 can go into 52 and 13 can go into 13. The reason I know that, because, cards, a deck of cards, each suit,
Yeah.
the whole deck of cards is 52 cards. And each suit has 13 cards. So that's how come I know this one.
Oh.
All my days of playing all fours. So 13 can go into 52x, 4x times, and 13, negative 13 into negative 13 is, oh wait, how is that? Plus 1. Did I make a mistake? Minus 13.
Um,
Oh, you know what's my mistake? Here's my mistake. It was plus. It was
oh.
it was supposed to be just now. Let me fix it. It was supposed to be 1x take away 52x. See? That's what I have here. 1 take away
Mhm.
52. So that was a mistake. Right. So this would be plus 1 here. And then this would be 4x plus 1. Minus 13 by plus 1 will give you minus 13. All right, so now was the repeated factor here, Zafi?
4X plus 1
Yeah.
in
And then
brackets.
what goes in the other pair of brackets?
X minus 13.
Good. So all of that is equal to 0. So that means 4x plus 1 is equal to 0, or
Mhm.
x take away 13 is equal to 0. All right, so if 4x plus 1 is equal to 0, 4x would be equal to 0, take away 1, and then x would be negative a quarter. Or if x minus 13 is 0, what would x be, Zafi?
Um, 13.
13. All right, guys, let's take a break. Let's take a short break. I was supposed to give you all a break like literally 20 minutes ago. No, not 20 minutes, like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, let's take a short break and then we're gonna come back and do the rest, okay? Take a 10 minutes. Actually, I think I'll do number 9 quickly and number 10. So here, A is 5, B is 13, and C is negative 18. So then AC is 5 times 18, which is negative 90, since it's 5 by negative 18. And I need to get 13 from that. So what can I use? Let's see. I can use 18 and 5 because 18 take away 5 will give me positive 13. And then 18 multiplied by negative 5 gives me negative 90. So this would be 5x squared take away 5x plus 18x minus 18 is equal to 0. So then the common factor, I factorize by grouping. So this would be 5x by x minus 1 plus 18 by x minus 1. And therefore, x minus 1 by 5x plus 18 would be the two factors. All right. So then x minus 1 is equal to 0, or 5x plus 18 is equal to 0. So that would mean x is equal to 1, or 5x is equal to negative 18, which means that x is equal to negative 18 divided by 5, which is negative 18 over 5. All right. And then number 10, well, A is 9, B is negative 6, and C is 1. So AC is 1 times 9, which is 9. So the factors of 9, 3 and 3, 9 and 1, negative 3, take away 3 would give me negative 6. So that satisfies the condition that they must minus or add to give the B. And then negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So that satisfies the second condition. So therefore, I rewrite the equation with minus 3 to replace minus 6x. So this will be 9x squared, take away 3x, take away 3x, plus 1 is equal to 0. So the common factor between 9x squared and 3x is 3x. 3x times 3x will give me 9x squared. 3x times negative 1 gives me 3x, well, minus 3x. Between 3x and 1 is only 1. So minus 1 times 3x gives me positive, well, minus 3x, sorry, and minus 1 times minus 1 gives me positive 1. So I'll have 3x take away 1 by 3x take away 1. So x, if 3x take away 1 is equal to 0, well, you notice it'll be the same answer, right? Because you have both of them is 3x take away 1. So this is going to just be 3x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1/3. And this one is called a repeated solution or repeated root because both of the brackets are equal. When we move on to sketching the quadratic curve, you'll see what this actually means when you have a repeated root. All right, guys, in number 11, 12, and 13, these are all special quadratics called, each one is called a difference of squares. And the reason it's called a difference of squares is because, well, difference means subtraction, and squares, x squared and 25 are two square numbers. Because x squared is literally x times x, and 25 is a square number because 5 times 5 gives you 25. So to factorize a difference of squares, no matter what it is, no matter what the difference of squares, no matter what they are, is always the same. You take the square roots of each of them and put them in brackets and interchange the signs. What do I mean by that? Well, x and x, and then the square root of 25 is 5. So it's going to be this, and you're going to put 1 is plus and 1 is minus, right? Because if you expand these brackets, you're going to get back x squared minus 25. So to factorize any two square numbers when it's a difference of squares like this, now this does not apply if it was x squared plus 25, right? This only applies when it's just when b is equal to 0, so there's no term in bx, and you have a x squared term, sorry, and c. So x squared and 25 are both square numbers. This is how you factorize a difference of squares, by simply interchanging the signs and using the square roots in the two brackets. So therefore, x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So therefore, x is equal to -5, or x is equal to +5. Can anybody tell me what the factorization of number 12 would be based on this principle of factorizing a difference of squares? Anybody want to give it a shot? Yeah,
So,
yeah, tell me.
so the 49 is the square of 7, I believe.
Right, yeah.
And it would be, the first bracket would be plus, and the
Yeah.
second set of brackets would be minus.
Perfect, right? Because they are two square numbers, it's a difference of squares. The square root of 49 is 7. Excellent, Zafi. So that means x will be equal to -7 or +7. All right. Number 13 is still two square numbers, right? 4x squared and 100. What would be the first, what's the square root of 2x squared? 4x squared is the square of which, of what term, guys? Anybody knows?
2x?
Yeah, 2x, right? Very good, Zafi. 2x and 2x. 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared. Okay, what about the 100, Zafi?
Would it, I think, 10?
Yes, it would be 10. So it would be 2x plus 10 and 2x minus 10, right? So therefore, 2x plus 10 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 10 is equal to 0, which means that 2x is equal to -10, which means that x is -10 divided by 2, giving me -5, or 2x is equal to +10, so x is +10 divided by 2, which is 5. And that's how you factorize a difference of squares. Right, guys? So I am going to send you all this complete, basically note, right? And if you didn't copy down the questions while we were doing it, then please copy it down into your books or print it out. But do something and keep it, right? And I'm also gonna post this video